Hey everyone, it's October the 18th, 2023. So to start, we've been getting a lot of jet noise overhead, so I may have to pause here and there until it passes. The other thing is I've been sick the last couple of days and coughing a lot, so I apologize if I cough into the camera. Now there's two things that I want to share. One of the things that I want to share is something that happened a couple of weeks ago, that at the time that it occurred, I made the decision not to share it because I wasn't really perceiving a lot of information. I didn't really know what was coming. I wasn't really sure what it was that was coming, and I didn't have a lot of information. And I didn't want to upload a video where I'm saying, hey, I feel like something's coming, but I don't know what it is. So over the last couple of days, I've realized that what I was perceiving 2 or 3 weeks ago was accurate. So I've made the decision that from now on, even when I'm not sure what it is, or I may not be able to tell you, give you more information, I'm just going to share it anyway. Most of the time, and I'm not saying this to be boastful, most of the time, the things that I see and perceive and feel are usually accurate. They're usually accurate, and I very rarely miss. So from now on, if you see a video and it doesn't have a lot of information, it's because I want you to know and be aware that, hey, look, something's coming, something's changing. I don't know what it is, but be aware, be alert. The other, and that's the reason why I'm bringing it up now. The other thing is, the second thing is, I perceived something this morning that I believe everyone should be aware of. So to start, I perceived something about 2 weeks prior to the Hamas attacks. It was at night. I went out one night, and as soon as I got outside, you have to know my gifts work a little different. They work a little different. Because they work a little different, sometimes some of the things I may say sounds a little funny. But I went outside, and pretty much as soon as I got outside, it was like catching a whiff of a scent in the air, or smell in the air. But instead of a smell, it's more like a thing or a feeling of something. Yeah, it's more like a thing. And so as soon as I got outside, I just kind of caught the feeling that a storm was coming. And I'm looking, and I'm trying to discern what it is, what's coming, what's happening. Is there other changes? I couldn't really get anything. And so as I'm looking, the next thing I got was, I knew something was coming, but I wasn't getting any more information. So this goes on for maybe 5 minutes or so. The last thing I got was, I'm looking, and I'm trying to decipher and discern what's happening or what it is that I'm perceiving. And I get trouble. And that's just kind of how I got it. That's how it felt, trouble. And then after that, I didn't get anything else. And that's unusual for me. That's very unusual. Usually I'm able to see a thing, feel a thing, sense it, smell it, whatever. But I'm usually able to see past that. And I wasn't. So it left me thinking, it left me feeling, and I didn't get all the other bells and whistles that I usually get when I perceive something or discern something. Usually it comes with a knowing and understanding and all these other different things. The knowing was there, but it was brief, and it didn't come with all the other bells and whistles. And so because of that, I kind of thought, I wasn't really sure. Are these my gifts, or is this an enemy? Because I go through a lot of attacks, and I go through a lot of afflictions, especially since I started doing the videos. So I wasn't really sure, which is really what led to my decision of not uploading it and sharing it. because I thought, well, I don't have really too much more information, and what if I'm wrong? So what I realized maybe day before yesterday, as I was kind of pondering things and running things through my mind, and just really processing everything that's been happening and going on, I realized that, oh my gosh, this is what I was perceiving. The attacks is what it was that I was perceiving. And I believe the reason why I got trouble is because I believe what we're dealing with is I think it's possible. Now, I have to do research to make sure and confirm it and make sure that this is accurate or correct. But I believe that what we're seeing is the time of Jacob's trouble. Now, I could be wrong. So that part is, I'm not like, oh, this is what it is. I could be wrong. I have work to do on it. Which is the reason why one of the reasons why I brought it up. Now, the other thing is, at the same time that I realized, oh, I was right. What I was perceiving was right, and the attacks is what it was that I was sensing. I was sensing. After that, I started to think about something else. It was along those lines. I was processing it, and then somewhere along the line, it shifted, and I felt and discerned and sensed, I guess would be the right words, that things are about to change. And the way I got it is, things are about to get real. That sounds a little cliche, but it really isn't cliche. Things are literally about to shift and become very, very real. Now, this morning, I got up and I went outside. I love to go outside, and I kind of sense things a little bit better out when I'm outside. And I was outside, and I was walking, and I felt it again. This time it was very, very strong. It was very, very clear that we are literally on the precipice of a change, a shift. And what I felt was, things are going to get very real, because the Lord is fed up. He's tired. He's sick and tired, I should say, of the way the church is behaving. He's tired of the things that are being done in the church, the way the body of Christ is being conducted. He's fed up and he's tired. And we literally have no more time to mess around. The feeling was very strong and very clear that we know that God doesn't change. That's not what I'm saying. But we also know that God does get angry. We know that God comes to a point to where he's had enough. And this is the feeling. And what I discerned this morning, it was as if his mood is changing, for lack of better words. And I don't want to take a whole lot of time trying to just, kind of find the right word, because that can sometimes take some time. But it's as if he goes from this to this to this. And he's not a harshness, but it's the best, for lack of better words, it's a feeling of focus. It's a feeling of being absolutely sick and tired of certain things, certain behaviors, things of this nature. That was the feeling, and that was the way I got it. Now, the Lord confirms everything that I say. I bring it before the Lord before I record. So the Lord has confirmed this already, because I wanted to make sure, Lord, am I getting this right? So when I say things are about to change, things are about to get very real, it's almost, for lack of better words, almost as if we're going to begin to experience the supernatural. We're going to begin to see things, or our experiences are going to become very supernatural. Now, and I don't really know how else to explain it without taking a whole lot of time. So if I can think of something better, I will address it in another video. But I have it in a video where I did a few 2 or 3 months ago. I don't really remember the name of the video, but it has the title Supernatural. And it was something that I was discerning at that time, where I just felt like things were about to, something was happening, and I see into the spirit. So at that time, something was happening, and I'm not quite sure what it was, but something was taking place, and it just had a feeling that things were going to become very supernatural. And I'll leave it at that. Now, the reason for God's anger, part of the reason for his anger is the things that are being done in the church. Now, I don't edit my videos, so I don't want to say too much because I don't want to mess it up. But there are many things that are being done within the church that are wrong. There are many traditions, there are many things that are being done that most in the body of Christ are unaware of, because you have to learn. These are the things that I plan on talking about in the videos coming up. One particular video I should have already done, and I did not do it because every time I tried to make the video, the attacks would be so strong. I couldn't really do it to the level that it needed to be done, and so I waited on it. But I will begin to show you things in the up and coming videos that prove it proves many of the teachers and the pastors and the preachers and many of the prophets are not anointed to teach. They're not called to the positions that they're in. And this is not a claim. This is not something I'm just haphazardly saying. These are things that I'm able to prove and will prove. And I don't want to edit, so I'll leave it at that. So until the next video, I hope this helps. Take care.